I'm the founder of Laxmi Therapeutic Devices, where we're really wanting to be the future of continuous glucose monitoring, mainly because continuous glucose monitoring has really changed the lives of a lot of people with diabetes, but we want to make it better. We want to make people with diabetes be healthier. That's what we're aiming for. So we all know diabetes is a huge problem, and since Banting discovered insulin back in 1921, there's been amazing therapies for it, but it's complex and it's always evolving. It started with injecting with insulin, and then it went through injection pens, now they're pumps, finger pricks, blood glucose meters, and most recently, there's been a solution. The continuous glucose monitor has changed the lives of many people with type 1s. Now you just have to put that on and you don't have to do any more finger pricks. And now you can actually talk to smart pens, talk to pumps. It's really evolving. And on top of that, and eventually we want to get to a closed loop where people with diabetes don't need to have that burden of diabetes. Yes, we all agree? Okay, so there's a problem, there's a solution, and there's a market. Look at the market. The market is huge. Just in America, there's been a huge annual revenue growth, and in 2022, it's $9.6 billion, right? And so it's expected to remain strong. Many more people, unfortunately, are getting diagnosed with diabetes. So you might be sitting here wondering, wait a minute, you just told me a problem, you told me a solution, and you showed me a market. What the heck am I doing? Well, the reason I'm here is because despite the fact that the CGMs have changed the world and how people deal with diabetes, it has not improved outcomes. So outcomes, HbA1c, I'm sure all of you guys go to the doctor, is a way to measure. You want to get the lower the HbA1c, the better. This was a image of 10,000 patients with type 1 in 2012 and their HbA1c over the rate, 10,000 patients between 9 and 99. 6 years later, after CGMs were introduced, you'd imagine that their HbA1c should go down, right? CGMs are trying to make people better? No, it actually made people worse. It made about the same. It didn't change anything. For kids, it made people worse, which I care about because my child was diagnosed with type 1. And that's not okay. That's the problem. And that's what Laxmi can solve. And the reason is, despite patient complications, we haven't actually helped. So that's what the future of CGM. The future of CGM is one where we can actually help patients have better outcomes, right? So how do we do that? Well, the reason is because competitors, CGMs, they go into the subcutaneous tissue. So you see that needle goes all the way down into about 6 millimeters down, and there's no blood vessels there. So it takes about 15 minutes for the actual blood glucose to reach the sensor. So what does that mean? It means that when my daughter is really high, she's not, or I see she's high, I dose her a little bit too much because she's already going down. Then she goes too low, I give her too much sugar, then she goes too high. So up and down, and we're not at homeostasis. So in fact, I would argue, this is even worse. I'd much rather they be, stable than up and down and up and down. Laxmi, our CGM fixes that because the big IP, what we have figured out, is how to get something in the dermal layer of the skin. So my background is a professor at UC Santa Barbara. I actually work in micro and nanotechnologies, and I've written many papers on microneedles, and I'm telling you, microneedles don't work. Microneedles are things that your body's going to try to push out of the skin, like your splinters. Laxmi has figured out a non-microneedle way to emulate the skin and have something go in there and stay for 7 days. And no one else has done that. Everyone knows dermal sensing's better. You lead to better improvements, lead to no lag time, lead to better time in range, which we've already shown through IRB trials, less skin trauma because it's only going in the dermal space. And because we've just started now, compared to our competitors, we built our software so that it can be open to all the different pump technologies. We've built it open. We've taken all the best of all the apps and made it better to try to make that user experience better. So I'm saying all this, and this is the first time we're actually publicly showing you data. So here's data. We've done 2 already IRB studies. Right, the first study was a year ago showing 8-hour data, just 8-hour data with 6 patients in the IRB. Second one, we did 7-day data with 20 patients, internal IRB. This is showing 30,000 pair points for all 7 days for those 20 patient data trials. We actually have over 100,000 collected over 7 days. And in about a week or 2, we're going to be putting this device in the clinic. I've been wearing it for many, many days. We have many internal studies with this. It's going to be external with type 1, this one right here, and this is the inserter for it, very much smaller than the competitors. And our actual product device is going to be this big. And what have we shown from all this data? You can see the MARDs are about 10%. In fact, if we do head-to-head, because we've been wearing comparator CGMs with ours, if we do head-to-head with finger sticks, our MARDs are usually always better than the other one. Again, because we have better time in range, because we have no lag, the MARDs can be better in terms of rate of change. We also have shown a less than 2 minute, most of the times it's 0 minute time lag for all the data. We've shown that the sensor can stay in the skin for 7 days, right, without coming out like most other dermal sensors. And basically, it's shown robust performance. So we're now at the we're doing external IRB for our IDE study. What else we have done is file 11 patents. 2 are awarded. We've done a full FTO analysis with the applicator, making sure all the stuff we have does not infringe on anybody else's patents. We have the pre-sub submitted to the FDA. We have the mobile app, as you saw in the picture before, complete. And the thing I'm most proud of is the fact that we have established a manufacturing facility. And this is the reason why we can get such good data. In Pasadena, we have a manufacturing facility that's not only able to do our pivotal line, but also our pilot line. We can make thousands of sensors a week, and we'll be able to put this fully into production. And that's already set up and ready to go with EQVs, and we're starting all the IQs right now. So we have been exponentially progressing in the last year. In terms of product development regulatory status, we have our IRB trial to inform clinical happening. It says Q4, but it's actually happening early in a few weeks, I think. The pivotal trial, we're hoping this will be finished. The IRB trial will be finished by Q4, and we'll be submitting IDE to the FDA. We're hoping to start a pivotal trial, even an outcome trial, to show people, hey, this lag actually makes a difference next year. And then a year and a half or so of clinical trial and testing and such to get a commercial launch. Our meeting is already scheduled for May, the pre-sub meeting with the FDA, to make sure we're on track, to show them the data, to show them what we've had so far. We're hoping to do an ID submission by the end of the year. And because of how good the data is looking so far, we're pretty sure we can meet all ICGM standards and submit 510K. Again, this is very different than other dermal sensing companies. It's just because of the IP we have on how to actually get that in and keep it in the dermal space. So the whole thing that we want to do is show a truly closed loop system. This is the set to get to an artificial pancreas. The reason why none of the products right now are fully approved is because there is no AI algorithm that can tell you when you ate 50 gummy bears. Right? You eat 50 gummy bears, no AI in the world can tell you did that. And so therefore, there's always going to be a spike where we can test that and people with time delays can't. So what we have is we have a pathway to really dominate this 3.5 type 1 market. If you talk to doctors and say, hey, would you prescribe this to kids who are diagnosed? Of course they would. I mean, my daughter, especially brittle diabetics, they need this, right? I don't want to stay up all night. I can't look at the bags under my eyes. And this is after not having to deal with my daughter for 2 days. I have we're trying to raise a little bridge to get to the IDE submission. We're in talks with strategics now, but we want to get to the pivotal trial start and everything to show, we have the IDE to show our data. And then either we work with strategics or we get a big Series B round to get us all the way to FDA approval. And that's it, I fish. Thank you so much.